मेरे रोले क्या क्या तू बोले मैं सुन रहा हूँ सदा कैसे कहूँ मैं पत्थर बहुत हैं फूलों के रास्ते जा ओ साथी रे इन राहों को तू जान ले दिया ना बातें संगी ना साथी कोई नहीं है तेरा कैसे कहूँ मैं पत्थर बहुत है फूलों के रास्ते जा ओ साथी रे इन राहों को पहचान ले हम भूले दुनिया भूले हम बिखरे हम क्या रोना बीती यादों के साए अब है पराए इस छाँव को तू भूल जा सुन ले दिल मेरे रोने क्या क्या तू बोले मैं सुन रहा हूँ सदा दरिया ना साहिल तूफान मंजिल कानों में है शोर सा कैसे कहूँ मैं मौजे बहुत हैं फूलों के रास्ते जा ओ साथी रे इन मौजों को तू जान ले हम भूले दुनिया भूले हम बिखरे अब क्या रोना बीती यादों के साए अब है पराए इस छाँव को तू भूल जा सुन ले दिल मेरे रोले क्या क्या तू बोले मैं सुन रहा हूँ सदा
I wanted them to be sorry. I wanted every single one of them to be sorry and to say it in this very certain way, like a key in a lock that could finally assuage me, that could finally turn my rage into some kind of pardon. I was going to pardon them, and they needed to say it in a very certain way, or it wasn't going to happen. I have punched through walls waiting. I have taken myself into lands of complete and utter obliteration, waiting for apologies that never came and never were about to. Even if I had asked, even if I'd told them exactly how, they never would have been able to do it the way I wanted them to. Thank God someone came along and helped me see that that wasn't necessary. That it wasn't necessary for anyone to apologize to me in order for me to free myself and experience peace. Though we speak of love and crave love, we all do. We don't always allow it in. I would say most people don't. On a daily basis, I teach people about how to love themselves, how to let the Creator's love, the one that made us, the presence, the essence that made us, how to let that presence permeate us in a way that we know ourselves as completely held and completely safe. And as much as we all long for that, we tend to have fallen in deeply into an obsession with wanting it from another human and or wanting it through circumstance. If this or that circumstance would only be a certain way, then I could know I'm worthy, then I could know I'm lovable. And time and again, when I show that there actually is a way to release that old misunderstanding and claim what is our birthright, this incredible acceptance that goes deeper than anything, goes deeper than what our minds think is likable about us, what we see as acceptable, appropriate, all that. When it goes deeper than that, and I'm introducing that and I'm expressing that, what I hear from people is not only a lack of motivation, I even hear from many that they feel repulsed at the notion of loving themselves, or that they feel a type of magnetic revulsion to the idea of letting that love of what I call God, that love from presence, actually in. It's fascinating. It's a strange role I play. In as much as it's like watching person after person turn away like the best meal, like an Italian-made meal, because they've just gotten so used to McDonald's. That just sounds gross. You know, it's just like wow. And I'm really at a place in myself where I do understand it. It still amazes, and yet it doesn't at all. I've been there, and I understand what it's like to not be attracted to love. And you know, if we look, it's like, is it a wonder that communities are having a hard time organizing, gathering, becoming communal and powerful in their numbers, you know, working together to preserve themselves and their rights and their dignities and their freedoms. It's like not a wonder. Like, how would we do that if we turn away from fundamental acceptance, like deep internal feelings of enoughness? Like, of course we're going to have trouble in our circles, in our families, and with friends, with partners, with our kids, with communities. It's just basic math. And then definitely we're going to have trouble offering new ways of being as alternatives to the power structures that exist now. So if you listen to me, if you bother tuning in and taking the time, I say wow to you. I say you're actually a rarity. And I would just also say to you that if it sounds good and yet you're not living it, realize that living it is like putting multiple dimensionality to something that otherwise is singular or one-dimensional. It's that, if you think it sounds good, the things that I'm describing, wait until you experience them. It's so profoundly fantastic, and it can be all of ours. It is not for any one of us to covet. There's nothing to covet. There's no need to be the special one who does it and no one else does. I'm not special. Not in that way. And we all are so unique. We are all special. And this is claimable. This is your birthright. Having a deep sense of alignment with yourself, with the life energy that created us. We get to have the experience of a unification with that life force. And it is full of love, and it's the kind of love that will totally navigate anything. It'll help you navigate literally anything. And it changes the entire paradigm that you swim through. It's like it says in the Bible, many are called and few are chosen. And I say, like most things in that ding-dang book, things have been tweaked and rewritten plenty of times. And whatever the heck was meant and whatever was truly written down in the first place, as far as I'm concerned, what it really means, if it has any wisdom at all to that phrase, it's many are called. I would say all are called. All are called. If we are alive, we've been called into this life. We've received this gift of life. And few choose to claim the love that is the opportunity to experience. It is ours for the having. I am so glad that I will have lived a life where I did actually choose to receive the love that is here for me. A love not subject to the whims and irregularities of the human mind, and a love that isn't subject to the circumstances that are forever precariously shifting all around us. Join me in the safety of who you are, and we can create new nervous systems for ourselves. And that holographically can create overlays with one another that then brings forth a whole new reality. one that we desperately need if we are to perpetuate life sustaining practices on this planet. So I can't think of anything more important. It's so worth our time, our focus, our prioritization. It's worth whatever it takes.
Which will you go for? Which will you love? Which will you choose from the stars above? Which will you answer? Which will you call? Which will you take for your one and all? Tell me now, which will you love the best? Which do you dance for? Which makes you shine? Which will you choose now, if you won't choose mine? Which will you hope for? Which can it be? Which will you take now, if you won't take me? And tell me now, which will you love the best?
Contrary to popular opinion, I really do have it that the world is meant to be, that it's designed to be, lived ecstatically. And what I mean by that is not that we should, more that we can. And that the issue, the reason that is such a rare thing to know or think or believe or consider for and strive after or discover about life is that we've just gotten that far away from understanding how it can be. And by ecstatic, I really do mean it. I am saying that life can be a type of acid trip without the acid, a shroom journey without the shroom. It is already and entirely unto itself inherently full of the kind of harmony in the finer energies. All throughout the finer energies, some would call them scalar, the antimatter element, the subtle body, the holographic nature, that when we learn how to tap that, which is not impossible to do, as our religions want to make us think, nor is it a devilish thing to do, that when we tap it, what we experience is otherworldly. Because it's not of this world. And it's this feeling, it's like a hum. It's this sensing into And it's deeper than the senses, although it affects the senses. So when the senses pick up on this, they pick up on it like a tuning fork that hasn't been hit by anything, and yet starts to vibrate with these subtle energies. And the feeling is so harmonizing that it is an ecstatic state, and we can access that no matter what's going on. It's not about the mind's idea of, well, life, I like life right now. It's meeting my models. It's fitting the rubric, what I call great. It's more, it is access through a radical yes. I have experienced this ecstasy I'm describing as best I can in states of being in a lot of pain, in states of deep grief, even in states of deep illness. That it is, the gateway is through a radical yes. It's not a yes that says that requires the mind to like what's going on or to condone what's going on. It's not that kind of yes. The mind gets to have room to be saying this absolutely sucks. In fact, seems like part of the magic is unleashing the mind so that we're not shooting it into any kind of submission. The mind is allowed to have its own experience, roam about the place, so to speak. And this deeper element of us is not identifying with that mind. It is here. It's this presence in us that's here. Some call it the heart consciousness. Totally, totally valid. Some would say this is the spirit of ourselves, the essence of ourselves. That when we identify with that essence, this presence that pervades everything, we start to identify with more than our avatars, and then we realize I can actually say yes to even this, to anything that's going on here. And it, of course, applies when life is meeting the mind's models. That's when it can be easier, although sometimes that's when we least access this because we're so busy enjoying the mind's happiness that we don't remember sometimes to go deeper. And that's where tragedy or challenge, difficulty, the elements of life that the mind doesn't like is so often when the heroes in all of us, this hero's journey that we're all on, really activates and it's like a counter position so that we feel hungry to go deeper than what our minds would be interested in doing, that realm of the mind. So yeah, I love knowing. It is my favorite part of life. It's my favorite thing I've learned here this lifetime, and it's what I will be most excited about when I leave this world, that I learned how to access ecstasy without drugs through the exercising of my radical yes. There is so much madness going on in our world today. Do you let it have you? Do you find yourself despairing? Don't let it have you. There's a frequency, just like a radio station, that you can tune into, just like you tune in to check on the madness, to check on the wars and the economies and the politics. Some of you may not at all, of course. I understand, and I understand why. Just like we can, though, tune in or not to that, we can tune in to the frequency of our inherent goodness. There's a goodness to us. And the fear vibrations that we let course through us don't represent that goodness. They don't. And they certainly don't represent who we really are well. And I have not yet met a human being that I didn't find that when we look under the cover of what goes on with them, when we check under the hood of their behavior, that we don't find dearness at the root, dearness wrapped in a persuasion of fear that distorts the truth of them in a way that they don't mean to. And yet it does, and is mistakable for who they are. None of us are that. None of us are, even when we appear to be, even when we are convinced ourselves that we are. We are not inherently mad. And we can attend to this madness by not letting it have us. That's our task in this time. It always has been. In this time, somehow, it seems an accentuated task. It is so deeply valuable to meet the news and the circumstances, and even when they start to touch home, which they have done for us here recently. Even when they start in touching home, where we can really feel the impacts setting in of nasty late capitalism running amok. Even then, we can retain an awareness of the preciousness that seeks across the seeming divides. It seeks across for oneness.
You can climb to the highest mountain. You can swim to the farthest shore. You can walk all the land for an age and still not find what you're searching for. The remedy is your own heartbeat. Yeah. Growing old, but you're still being born. To the mirror, come to the mirror. Gaze into the eyes of an open door. Yeah. For all our wisdom dwell on the inside, in the most high of the open sky. Come around, I hear, come around now. Unfold your wings, for you know how to fly. All our wisdom dwell on the inside, in the most high of the open sky. Come around, I hear, come around now. Unfold your wings, for you still can fly. Hear a song that sings on the inside. Hark, I call as the ravens fly. Take a breath, my friends, take a breath. Oh, breathe it in now, the innermost high. Drink from the tears that the angels cried. Forgive your failings and know that you tried. From the mirror we never can hide. It's a dragging me down like a turning tide. But the river flows deep inside. There a river grow deep and wide. Cast away from the shores and glide. Here We're up on the water, up in the most high, for the river flows deep inside. There our river grow deep and wide, cast away from the shores and glide. We're